For batch apex, you need to first of all implement database dot batchable context, batchable interface. So this is what we see yesterday. We saw yesterday also. For scheduler, we used schedulable interface. For queuable, we used queuable interface. For batch apex, we use this interface, batch database dot batchable. That's number one. Secondly, in batch apex, you need three methods. So for queuable and scheduler, we saw that we just needed one method, execute. But in case of batch apex, we need three methods. What are those three methods? One is start, one is execute, and one is finish. Okay, so we have three methods required on a batch apex. So you will have a class, you will implement the batchable interface on the class, and you will have three methods in that class. Okay, out of these three methods, first method is used for forming the data ready for execution. So basically, this first method is used for forming the data for execution, which means the big chunk of data needs to be broken into small batches. That is what start method will do. Okay. Execute will have the actual execution, whatever actual action you want to do on the data, and this execute will run for batches, batch by batch. So if you have 10 batches, this execute method will execute 10 times, once for each batch. Okay, and finish is any action you want to perform at end of all batches. Okay, so finish is basically any action that you want to perform at end of all the batches. So something like if you plan to send an email to someone when all the batches have got executed, or any some action, if you want to update, go ahead and update a field at the end of all the execution. That's something that you will put in the finish method. Okay, so out of these three methods, execute and finish are void methods for the same reason, because they should not have a return type. They will get executed and they will not return anything. So these two are void methods. Start is a non-void method, because start method basically forms the batches, and that's the return type which will be taken by the execute method and it will be executed. Got it? So start method is non-void, execute and finish are the void methods which do not return anything. Fine. So that is how simple it is. So the basic structure of a batch apex should be like this: public class, batch class, or whatever name you want for the class, implements database.batchable, and then this particular class needs to have three methods, as I told you. So it will have a start method, it will have a void execute method name has to be execute only, and then it will have a void method finish. Clear? So that's what the breakup has to be, or that's how the structure of the batch apex has to be. Alright, now while I'm talking about this, the finish method can be blank also. I mean, if you don't want to perform any action at the end of the finish, at the end of the batches, you should be okay with keeping it blank also. That should not be a problem. Okay, the finish can be null also. For start and execute, you can put the code. Got it? So this is the basic or the simple structure of a batch apex. Got it? The batches will be formed in the start method, execution will happen in the execute method, finish method. If you want to put any code in the finish, you can just go ahead and put.
Deep,
Yep.
does it mean that the start method will provide the input to the execute method?
Execute, correct. That's exactly what it does. Right, so first thing, the start method gets executed, then the batches are taken by the execute method runs multiple times, whatever number of batches, that number of times execute method will run, and then once all the execution is done, then finally the finish method comes. All right, okay, so let's write a batch apex. Okay, let me just log in first. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yep. Sorry, I was on mute. All right. So we are logged in into the Salesforce account now. Let's now start writing our batch apex. So where do we start writing the batch apex? What is the first thing that we'll need to do? What's the first thing that we need to do? For writing batch apex, what is the first thing that we need to do? Okay. Where do we start?
First, we need to have data on which we actually perform execution.
But right now, where do I start?
Setup, develop, Apex class new.
Very good.
वही है क्या एड्रेस?
वही है. Correct. So first thing we will start writing the class, and inside the class we'll write the code, right? Only Asha is paying attention in the class.
No, I think that your question threw us all off. I just took
Okay.
I think everyone was thinking there's a different different place where you write batch effects.
That's right. Write all these things in the class only, right? Okay. Now, what do I write here? Public class. Name of the class can be anything. After that, what interface do we implement here? What's the name of the interface?
Implement database dot batchable,
Yes.
batchable, then open and close bracket, and then curly bracket.
No, not open and close bracket. That was mistake. Okay. All right. Database.batchable. So that's the interface that you have to implement. Now, how many methods we have here inside this? 3 methods, right? What's the first method?
Start.
Okay. Is start a void method?
No.
Start is not a void method. So what is the return type of the start method? It basically returns database.query locator. Okay. Now in this start method, what you have to do is you just have to give a query, and using that query, this using this query, our get database.get query locator is a method, predefined method, which will form the batches. Okay, and this will be the return type of. So database.query locator is gonna basically form the uh, batches of the data with the help of the query that I supply. Got it? So here it should be return database dot get query locator, and I have to supply the query inside it. Okay, the query for forming the batches. All right. So whichever data, whichever object that you want to pick, you'll have to query that, and you'll have to query the data as per the batches, right? So the query needs to go inside this, whatever query you want to run. Let's say select name from count limit 5. So now what will it do? It will actually form the batches for count name and 5 for each batch. That's how it's actually going to do. But I will not write the query inside this. Okay, so in this example we are not going to write the query inside this. You can write the query directly inside this, but I'm not going to write the query inside it. I will rather make it a variable. Okay, so at the time of execution you will have the flexibility of writing the query. I'll make it a variable and I'll call it query. So, and here I will define the variable called query. String query. Okay, so define a variable which I'm going to use. Second method is the execute method, public void execute.
This query won't be a list of object type.
List of object.
Yes. It would be a string only.
The query, the one that I'm actually passing here, so this query is a string, right? What will be fetched out of the query? That's going to be list of a object, right? List of s object. Query select query, that itself is a string, right? If you want to define this, select name from account. This is what? This is a string, right? So this part I want someone else to pass. So this has to be string. Got it? List of s objects scope. Now with this object here. Okay. So now this scope will take the value from your start method. Okay. So after running, as Shefali was correctly saying that will we not get s object. So after executing the query, that database.query locator is going to return you list of s object. Got it? So that's what the scope is. So this is where it is returned list of s object, and that I am going to use inside the execute method. In my execute method, all that I have to do is I just have to say for s object s within scope let's say s dot put field value. Okay, which field I want to update, that also I have kept as a variable, and the value that I want to update to the field, that is also another variable. So there will be two more strings which will be defined here. String field and string value. So I will just do update scope. And then one more method, public void finish. In this void finish, I'm not putting anything. Let's not put any code here. Database dot batchable.
आपका डेटाबेस का स्पेलिंग गलत है शायद।
No.
नहीं, यहाँ पे जहाँ एक void execute database dot batchable content 11 line 11 में
7th line on line 7.
Data implements database. Okay. Here implements is missing.
In line 7 to line 7.
Where database line 7. Okay. Now line 14 has an error. What is the error in 14? What did I do? Semicolon missing. Will you give me one quick minute? I'll just check this here. 1 minute.
Asha?
हाँ जी शिवाली.
Yeah, Asha
Hello.
actually one.
So
Yeah, Asha. Hello.
yeah,
Hello.
Asha.
हाँ जी बोलिए.
yeah. With this, okay, come back here. Now, only thing that I need to do is I just need to define a constructor so that these values can be taken at the time of execution. Okay. To execute batch, there is a method called database.execute batch. That we have to call database.execute batch. Okay. But before that execute batch can happen, I also have to take the values for these variables, right? For microphones on mute, please, everyone. Thank you. Okay, so before we can actually execute this, what I'll have to do, these values needs to be passed by the end user, right? Because query is just a variable, so someone needs to pass the value to this. Field is just a variable, value is just a variable, right? So what we will need to do here, we just need to define a constructor here which can take the values. Okay, public batch class string q string f string v, and then we can say query equals q, field equals f, and value equals v. Okay, so this constructor will take these three variables q, f and v, and then I'm setting q and f, q, f and v to query, field and value, and then those values will be used within my program. That's it. Now I only need to go ahead and execute the database.execute batch. Okay, now this database.execute batch returns the job id, apex job id, pretty similar to the QML apex. We'll have to say id job id equals database.execute batch, and which batch we are planning to execute. Which batch we are planning to execute? The batch class, right? So we have to just say new batch class q, f, v. Okay, this q, f and v value needs to be passed before this line is executed, right? These values need to be supplied before this line is executed. So we will just need to say string q equals select name, description is the field that I want to update. Description from account. Okay, that's the query. String f equals description. Okay, and string v equals updated using batch. Okay, so these three values to the variables I've supplied here. Now This is going to be the query. This queue is basically the query. So if you just come back to the code and try to see what I have written and compare it with the code, then you will find exactly what we are trying to do. Okay, so queue is the query, right? So this is the query which is going to be used here in the start method. Okay, queue. F field, F is description field. Okay, so the field which will get updated is going to be the description field. Okay, updated using batch, this is the value which will get updated on that particular field, right? Now what is the, I could have written description directly here also, but advantage of using the variables is that if you want, instead of description, if you want to update industry, you just have to write it here. So you have created a class which can work for any field. Your end user will have to tell which field he wants to update. Got it? So that's how it is. So in this case, let's say we are updating the description. So this is the code that we have to write and we have to execute it. Where will where will we call this code or execute this code from? Where should I execute this? How do I
In
call this?
execute method.
Execute method is there, but where do I run this code now? Where do I go to run this code? This is not a stored code. This is not something which is saved anywhere. So any code which is not saved in the
In
saved
console.
developer console.
Like,
Yeah. So what is the terminology we use for that? Anonymous code block, right? So go to developer console and there we'll write anonymous code block. Just go to debug, open execute anonymous window. This is where I should write the code. Correct. So yeah, these 4 lines I need to execute. Return this, click on execute. Yes, got executed. And where will I monitor the code or the Apex job? Under monitor jobs. Correct. Apex jobs. Batch Apex, first error, update field, first exception, row 3 with ID this, first error. Okay, custom validation exception not allowed. Okay, there is a custom validation rule which is not allowing us to update the record. Okay, now that custom validation is on account. Let's go and check what is a validation. There is no validation rule, so there might be a trigger in that case. Okay, what does this trigger do? Okay, if the industry is education, it throws an error. So for the time being, let me deactivate this trigger. All right. Let me execute it now. Okay. Go to Apex job, monitor, This time it completed successfully. Okay, no failures. Successfully done. Now you just have to go ahead and see if the accounts have got updated or not. Ideally, the description of the account should have got updated
Wait
too.
1 second.
Yeah, updated
How
using
to
that.
get the error? Means we got that error, whatever.
Read the error, you will understand where exactly that error is coming from. See, if there is any error in your code and everything, then it will not execute. Okay, the moment you click on execute, if there is any problem with the code, if there is any problem with the class, that's something which will be reflected on the class itself. You will not be allowed to save the class. If there is any problem with the anonymous block of code that you are writing, then it will throw you an error here. For example, if I don't put a semicolon here, let's execute. So that error will be shown here, expecting a semicolon or whatever. So if there is an error on this block of code, then that will be shown here. Now, if there is no error shown here, then it means that there is some problem with making that DML that you are trying to do from the system validation or something else, right? Either the system validation rule or a trigger is not allowing it to be done. So that details will be written on the error itself. When you go to monitor, so when you go to setup, and from there if you go to monitor, that's what we are doing in this monitoring Apex jobs, right? So if you go here, it will tell you that the batch has run, but this is where the problem is. Okay, so it tells you that field custom validation exception is there. So that field custom validation is either going to be your validation rule or your before trigger, which is going to throw the problem for the validation. Got it? So whatever error is there, it will show it to you. Correct? So this was because of a trigger, so we went and figured it out. Now the same code or the same batch apex, if you just want to use this batch apex for updating some other field. Description we have seen it got updated. Now if I want to use this for updating industry, so one I should include the industry field in the query. Then in the field I should make it industry, and let's say I want to make it update all the industries to education. Now all my accounts should have got updated to industry, education industry. Let's see if that has happened. Yes, that has happened. You open United Oil and Gas. See, the industry got updated to education. Clear? So that's the advantage basically of if you use the variables, that you can use the same class for different things. Clear? Yep.
Can use this for any particular account. This has been done on general, right? For all the accounts, we have updated the industry as education.
Can you just give me 1 quick second?
शिफाली
क्या आशा?
शिफाली आपको ईमेल एड्रेस मिल गया? वो चैट पे डाला मैंने.
नहीं.
अच्छा फिर लिख लो यार.
आप चैट पे टाइप कर सकते हो. I can get them.
मैंने कर दिया यार.
Hello.
अच्छा मैंने. अच्छा.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yes, Chief.
Yeah. Sorry, you're asking a question.
That job is been running for all the accounts.
Correct. Acha. Now you just want to make
so
sure that it runs for specific accounts, right?
Yes.
So all that you have to do is you just have to mention that in the query. That right now you have not put any condition in the query. It's like, yeah, it's here, right? In the query, you have not done anything, right?
Okay.
Where, let's say, the revenue is greater than a million, something like this,
Okay.
right? So that's something that you'll have to specify in the query.
Or any account ID itself can be mentioned.
Account ID also can be mentioned. I mean, not, you will definitely not do it for one account ID. List of account ID you'll have
Okay.
to mention, right?
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Right. So whatever you want to perform it for, you just need to mention it. All right.
Okay.
Ajit, I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Please.